Hasbro Pulse Con is right around the corner, so let's see what they have in store for the G.I. Joe line. And before we dive into the episode, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can be alerted to the latest reviews, news, and episodes when they drop. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael, and with me is my collector in crime, Larry. Now, the G.I. Joe brand panel is slotted for October 1st at 1:15 Eastern Time, 10:15 a.m. Pacific, with a 1-hour slot to get through everything for Hasbro PulseCon 2022.
At this point, I don't know what to expect from that hour. Is it going to be mostly figure related? Are we going to have some comic book stuff thrown in there? Are we going to have any musical guests like we did before?
Yeah.
Just kind of what are they going to do?
Yeah, I know that they're doing an interview with Larry Hama, so that'll take up some of the time. But yeah, I
Yep.
think, we'll see the comments fly in on their live stream if they start deviating a lot from, what people are expecting. So the fans always tell them what's up.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because there's usually very little reaction to any of it aside from maybe the planted comments that they have
Right.
thrown in there.
That's true. But it's interesting that they are calling this a brand panel, and they'll basically be classified series focused, as they noted earlier in the month. And, I think what the team is doing is they're just trying to set expectation for PulseCon that it will not be covering the O-ring line whatsoever and only focusing on the classified series, which, if you know me, is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, for me too. I think I'd love to see a relaunch of the O-ring line, but I just don't think it's going to happen right now. I think that they're focused on
Yep.
classified, and people for the most part seem to like the classified and kind of the direction they're going. So yeah, I think it's probably a good fit for right now. But it is interesting that they say including some new product announcements. So
Yes.
who knows what that is? Whether that's, is that just going to be figures? Is it going to be vehicles? I mean, who knows?
Who knows? And speaking of figures, earlier in the month, Emily from the Joe team said that the next wave of classified series figures will be hitting the shelves April 1st, 2023, which is an interesting date, April Fool's Day. So we might see some of these figures that are in progress, and they actually hope they show some, fully produced figures by now.
That's 7 months out,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it's that's a long way out. If they have production figures now to show, I don't know. Maybe they will. But that seems like quite a bit of lead time to be able to show off an actual figure now and still have 7 months before release.
Yeah, and maybe they're stretching their dates a little bit. They actually did pull in the Stalker and Crimson Twins dates from 2023 to November of 2022. So, maybe they're just giving a heck of a long lead time.
Yeah, no, that could be because I think the that Stalker and Crimson Twins wave that was originally like on Amazon, wasn't it May of 2023 or
Yeah,
something? Was it March?
yeah, it's somewhere around
It was
there.
way out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe this will show up in December.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. I mean, I think they do need to do something about just increasing the pipeline of figures that are just hitting the stores. And, again, I never see any of the new figures in the store, so it's like I have to rely on online stores to get all of these things.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even look really anymore. I think I maybe throw a glance over there and see the few movie figures that are still sitting there, and maybe the random Lady J or something.
Right?
But other than that, there's nothing there.
No. But announced at SDCC 2022, we could see the next wave of GI Joe retro collection figures that could be shown off as well. But these are Walmart exclusives, so the timing is a little off to line up with the Walmart Collector Con happening on October 6th. So what I'm hoping is that they announce that they might be going up for pre-order on Walmart Collector Con. That would be cool.
Yeah, and I think maybe that would if they could show them off at PulseCon, and then that they would actually launch for the Collector Con.
Yeah,
That might be a way that they can do something for both.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm actually kind of excited for this version of Snake Eyes. I think this is a cool version. I mean, I'm tired of seeing Snake Eyes get released,
Right.
but I do think this one looks good. So
Yeah, they got to squeeze all of the Snake Eyes out as they can. So
Yeah.
it's actually interesting that they're releasing a retro version of the Crimson Guard when I think that is not it's I think it's coming out in Europe, and some people have it in the States because they bought it from overseas. But it was just I think it's just a weird thing. It's a repainted figure, and it's like the first version isn't even out yet.
Yeah, these are definitely an odd choice. I think that maybe they just got extra money from Walmart to to give them an exclusive. Probably have to see them in hand side
Yeah,
by side to decide whether I care one way or the other which red I get for the Crimson Guard. And I think some of it might depend on what other figures are released down the road too. Sometimes you get maybe if you have these sit next to the Crimson Twins, one would look better than the other.
yeah.
There's things like that would play into it.
Yeah, that's true. I actually canceled my first version of the Crimson Guard in favor of this one. So, at least
Yeah.
that is saving me a little money.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's what ends up happening. A lot of times as collectors we have to make choices on which things we're going to get. So that's kind of the way it goes on some of these. You have to, you're going to sell one instead of the other.
Yeah. And we can't forget about the gaggle of name only reveals. And so we have a total of 14 figures plus the Trouble Bubble or the Flight Pod, which they are calling it. It's not the Flight Pod, it's a Trouble Bubble. But, you know, I think hopefully we can expect some of these figures to move off of the name only reveal list and actually see some digital renders finally.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be cool to see what the actual classified figure is kind of slated to look like. I think these are good representations, and I hope some of them come out looking like this because I think like Copperhead and Firefly, these look really
Yeah.
great. There's a lot of these that I really like, and if the classified figure came out this good, I'd be excited. So
Yeah, it's like the customizers are always killing it with
yeah.
these classified series versions, and sometimes I wish that they would actually go work for Hasbro so we can get some cool figures like this.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
But I was thinking like if they are moving, if we did see a 5 figure wave come in, like what would you love to see as a wave for this kind of looking at this assortment of figures?
So I think it's tough because what I would like to see and what I would expect to see are different things. Like my favorites are different than what I think would get released as an actual wave.
Yeah,
For me, the whole list feels a little like middle tier heavy. Like I don't think there's necessarily any bad figures, but I don't there isn't anything here that's like I'm really excited about.
yeah,
There's to me if you had like if you split this into several waves and had maybe some more kind of upper tier characters thrown in and these were kind of fillers, then I think you'd have some good waves. But with a wave like Ripper, Rock and Roll, Low Light, Copperhead, and Range Vipers. I think to me that's a good mix. Like you've got an Army Builder with a Range Viper. Rock and Roll feels to me like a kind of a throwback, kind of one of those early
hmm
early
yeah,
figures. You get a Dreadnought thrown in there, and then a Joe and a Cobra. You get a vehicle driver. I don't know. It's a weird mix of
yeah.
characters here and figures, so it's really tough to know kind of what they're gonna do with them.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think given the mix of like it's very Joe heavy in these pipeline reveals. So I think we're gonna see another 4 Joe and 1 Cobra in a wave, kind of like they did the last one. Because I think we were talking before, like the classified series it's very Cobra heavy at the moment. And so I think they're trying to lean it out a little bit and provide more Joes. But I think like my picks would be Copperhead, and I actually think they're going to go with the Python Patrol version first. And I
Oh,
actually don't think they're going to be doing the regular green, that came with the water moccasin.
you're probably right, and I don't like that at all. I don't mind the Python Patrol, the different theme, paint decoration kind of figures. But I really want to see kind of the main release of the figure
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. And you're not going to like what I'm going to say about Low Light too. So I think
Oh, don't.
Low Light's going to be released in the Slaughters Marauders deco first.
Oh, you're killing me.
I mean, it makes sense because they made a barbecue version in that deco, and so I think if they're gonna make a run of the figure,
You know what makes sense about it from big business kind of decision is, hey, you know what? Everybody wants low light, or like these will be exciting figures. People are going to be excited because this is somebody new. So what we'll do is we'll throw him out in like Slaughter's Marauders because it would be harder to sell that version later.
yeah,
But if you put it out there now, it's a whole new sculpt and a new figure, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, well, it's cool. It's low light. We're finally getting low light."
right.
And then after you get ready to buy that one, then hey, here's the regular low light that everybody really wanted in the first freaking place.
Yeah, I think definitely that's the decision making in the higher tiers up at Hasbro.
Damn it, Michael. What did you have to you ruined it. You ruined the whole thing already.
My other picks are, rock and roll. I think Torpedo. I think Big Ben, makes sense just because of the bandolier, and I think to your point about it could be you could slot in the range vipers too. So I think they're going to be reusing that bandolier quite a bit.
But you know what? If they do, you probably wouldn't see both of those in the same wave though, huh?
I don't know.
Because to me, is that too much kind of part reuse if you have them? You can't really look at it like side by side on the pegs because you don't see them on the pegs. But like as far as like a packaged wave, if you have that kind of that same bandolier draws more attention. That's
Maybe
weird.
if they might pull what Mattel did with the Rulers of the Sun 3-pack, because if you look at Digitina, or if you look at Space Sumo's head, it's actually the flat top version of Sunman's head just painted white.
Hmm.
So I
Interesting.
wouldn't put
Yeah.
it past them.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's true. Yeah. You just never know what they're gonna do, right?
No, and finally we have Serpentor that is going to be going up for pre-order, and he was announced and revealed at SDCC 2022. So I think super excited about this figure. I'm a little bit worried about the price point, just given Mindbender was 49 or 41.99. So this one comes with a air chariot, and I guess at the 41.99 price point, that's already at the breaker and ram cycle price point. So I don't know, what do you think?
I'm gonna say 79.99, and to me that still feels high, just because to me like Mindbender still came with some accessories, and he still came with the cool packaging. To me that Air Chariot isn't worth another $50. So to me, for me to feel like good about a price point, it would have to be like 79.99 or less, really.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
think if you get beyond that, you're really you're really just expecting a lot out of people trying to sell an exclusive. I don't know.
yeah. I think I'm more of the, like, I like the sub, like your price point seems pretty right on, but I think I think they're gonna probably make it 99.99.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I just but man, that feels like a lot for a just a single figure and a small small vehicle. I mean, the packaging is cool and it's a cool figure and all, but it's $100 is a lot for that.
Yep, totally. All right, so let us know what you all think about what might be coming down the line for Hasbro Pulse Con 2022. It's very close, so let us know in the comments below. I'm Michael,
And I'm Larry.
and thanks for tuning into Toy Habits.